Hello, everyone. Quinn here. And we received some unexpected news for TCM last week. I decided to hold off on it just because they immediately dropped the bombshell that the update was coming out this week, or rather next week, when I first heard the news. So now that we have the patch notes and just about everything that's going to be coming with this update, I'm going to go ahead and fire it off right now for you guys. So since then, they've released both an update on what the patch notes are or the content, as well as the breakdown on all the background information and even what the new characters are capable of. So first off, we have the new family member Bones, who is voiced by the legend Bill Moseley, who also voiced Chop Top. I'm sorry, voice played Chop Top, and also the cook on a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. So he is just not only a legend in the horror community, but a veteran for the TCM. So it's definitely a pleasure that they managed to get him to voice a character, even if it wasn't, or rather portray a character, even if it wasn't Chop Top due to the licensing issue. So it's been confirmed Bill Moseley again voiced and mocapped Bones, so he's really going to be able to bring this crazy madman to life here. Now, his abilities are very interesting, as he's got the ability to put up landmines on vertical surfaces, they say, so we'll see exactly what different surfaces that entails. And upon the gore bombs are described as being called detonating, not only does it give him blood when he goes and grabs what they say is a spark plug from where the detonation site was, but he'd be able to update it to be able to get a full vial of blood from the detonating these things, which maybe they might want to go back and do something like that for Hitchhiker, as he doesn't get a full vial of blood from collecting a bone trap. So hey, why not? He also be able to get some sort of new buff called Thrill, which would give him a standard consumption reduction as well as a damage buff. So Bones overall is going to be a very interesting character. I also want to note that he reloads these bombs from blood buckets, which is interesting. They did note that he'll be able to augment it so he doesn't take blood as a result of reloading his bomb. So one of the craziest things about Bones, however, isn't his ability. It's going to be the fact that finally we're getting a character that can traverse gaps and crawl spaces with Bones. He may be an old man, but it sounds like he definitely gets around, as he's probably going to be a much scarier version of Hitchhiker, especially seeing as he has two perks that allows him to, I'm sorry, three perks. He has a perk that lets him jump through windows, a perk that lets him jump down wells, and a perk that lets him scale barricades with victims. So he's going to be extremely relentless. So I hope you guys are prepared to be just just glazed in the basement by Bones. Yeah, he's going to be something for sure. Definitely contender for the strongest family member, at least chase wise. Although I doubt his damage is going to be much higher than Hitchhiker's. I'm calling it now. It's not going to be anything more than 20 tops. Now, for our victim, we have Wyatt, who is portrayed by the legendary Skeet Ulrich, who you guys may recognize as Billy Loomis, as well as a character from Riverdale. I haven't watched Riverdale. I always meant to get around to watch it, as I heard great things about it, but there's just so many things out there. I never have the time. So I'm just like it's just so mind-boggling, the A-list like celebrities or whatnot they get to voice these characters. Yet this game isn't like nearly as popular as it should be, like it's just I don't know what to think about the state of this game. I'm just excited for this update. Definitely, I didn't see them releasing these characters, especially when the poster seemed to have hinted that it was going to come out March. I figured that wouldn't be the case, as that didn't make sense, as the content pass is to February. But that there's just a lack of faith everyone's been having with Gun. The fact that we actually think they'd do something like that is, it just says a lot. But moving on, Wyatt is going to have the ability to throw knives. We already knew that from all the leaks and whatnot. However, these knives stun the family members, and he'll be able to have abilities to have a chance to retrieve the knife from a stunned family member. He can throw it at Grandpa to reduce his level by 30%, or is it just by 30? Whatever. Uh, he also will be able to retrieve, not retrieve, I'm sorry. He'll also be able to, after stabbing Grandpa with a knife, or rather throwing it at him, he'll be able to be undetected by Grandpa for one scream. He had to be able to cut down bone charms when he has his knife still on him, or he'll be able to reduce how long it takes to cut down the bones with a shard on them. So there's definitely some utility to him, including the ability to reveal the aura to all the other victims when he stunned a family member. I'm more so curious about what his stats are going to be though, as after they release Maria with the same stats as Anna, it'd be nice to actually get a new victim instead of whatever the hell Maria is supposed to be. It's just Anna 2.0. And I haven't read the patch notes, so you guys are getting my live reaction of what these patch notes are with this video here. I'm literally going to be genuinely surprised when I read what they've added here. There's one I did spoil because I kind of looked for a second and seen a couple of things here until I stopped myself and said, you know what, no, let's do this all in video. But moving on along here, content wise, besides of course the two new characters coming in the game, which are going to be free to content pass holders and 9.99 American dollars for everyone who did not buy into it. So as far as I can tell, the content pass is still available. So if you guys were on the fence and you plan on getting both characters, the content pass is $20. You get both these characters and more for free. So you might want to consider doing it, especially if you didn't get any other stuff that was free in the content pass yet. At this point, what are you waiting for? But other things that are coming to the game are going to be some new cosmetics for the sorority girls. It's going to be a winter cosmetic and a what? Oh, what do they call this stupid thing? They said it is a homecoming pack. I'm sorry. There we go. They also are confirming that we are going to be getting private matches for Rush Week. I wonder if they're going to also be re I'm sorry, geez, lifting the stupid no parties thing that they have with this game. Maybe even add the road queue, but that's probably too much to ask for, huh? But that aside, we are finally going to be getting a new map, not a weather variant, actually new map, and that's going to be the graveyard. So this was interesting to me as the graveyard was teased in the game over a year ago. I kind of thought that maybe this was a a lie or whatever after we ended up getting the mill, but it turns out no, that graveyard map was probably in production around the time they finished up the mill. Because again, this is how slow they are to release things. So I'm glad we're finally getting the graveyard to the game, as that is one of the final central locations from the original move we finally got. And I personally would love if they did a Hardesty house as well, as I feel like that's a very underrated location for the movie. It also kind of looks a little reminiscent to that of the house from the remake, the Hewitt house. So I feel like that's kind of why people forget the Hardesty house, because it looks so similar to the Hewitt house. But moving on, I don't think I missed anything, so I'm eager to just look into these patch notes. So first up, finally, we got a huge buff for Nancy. I'm hoping there's still more buffs in here because this can't be it. But other fan members can now walk through Nancy's bar traps without breaking them. This is going to be huge, and now I don't have to worry about stupid hitchhiker sissy going through my gaps around the house or the gap by the storage shed on gas station and just tripping that trap. Now I only have to worry about victims doing it. So this is going to be huge. Definitely will be able to settle for using Nancy a little bit, see how amazing this feels, especially now we have another character that can traverse. So, I'll be pretty pissed off. Everyone honks a new character and end up breaking my traps. So this is going to be great for me. This one made me laugh. Sliding door noise. They reverted the fact that the noise would follow victims when they came upstairs. I said it when they did this. They were specifically when they made the huge change to noise following victims that they didn't do it with sliding doors because that'd be broken. Then they ended up doing it anyway, and then they take it right back like what, a month or two later. It's just I can't with God. This is again is what I keep saying in these videos with the whole one hand's not communicating with the other, because why would they go back on something like that and then go back on it again? Like, so stupid. Basically, it was a default no a default exterior alarm. So of course they end up going back on that. But anyway, base game incorrect loading tip. They changed the loading tip that stated Leatherface is only fan member able to break barricades. Of course, that's not the case because hands can. And now read as Leatherface hands and bones. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Leatherface hands and Bones can break barricades, but get this, it says Bones can break barricades inadvertently with a well-placed gore bomb. So that means that if a victim tries to go over a barricade he's trapped, it will blow up on him and break the barricade. That's cool. I was just about to get to the point where I was like, oh shoot, maybe I should have read these before I did the video because the miscellaneous stuff I don't need to go over, but screw it. Worst case scenario, I just edit out some of the miscellaneous stuff if it starts to get a little too much. So Rush Week private matches, I already said that we're getting private matches. It says you'll be able to use invite codes. You can only play solo if no set minimum amount of players needed to launch the private game match. Okay, interesting. Oh, you can assign someone to play as Johnny via the player list. This can only be done in private matches, of course. So this is basically saying no, they're not doing roll queue for Rush Week. So Rush Week change level 3 Johnny. We've added back Johnny's speed increase at level 3. Now Johnny at level 3 has speed increase and door slammed on. Oh yikes! See, now I'm glad I didn't play Rush Week last month. They removed his scout from level 3 and replaced it with the door thing. That's stupid. Oh, uh-oh. I see something else with Nancy here. Base game, Nancy barbed wire removal time. We reduced the time. We have reduced the time it takes for Nancy to remove a barbed wire trap that she's placed from 5 seconds to 3.5. Okay, that's huge. So it's gonna take. It's gonna be quicker for her to pick it back up, basically. Oh hell yeah, dude! They finally buffed Nancy. I'm seeing more Nancy stuff here. We have reduced the time it takes for Nancy to set barbed wire traps from 10 seconds to 7. Sorry. I'm just so excited here that they're finally buffing this woman after an entire year. People saying she was trash, and I love this comment here. Nancy Maines, rise up, yes. This is going to be great. Like literally now, I don't even care if I don't get to play Bones. If someone else takes them, I have Nancy to play around with now, so this is perfect. All right. Nancy's ability upgrade stacking. Nancy's ability upgrade level 1 and level 2 quick recharge were incorrectly stacking despite descriptions stating they do not. Yeah, that is definitely true. She could really spam her ability. I'm guilty of not using it as much as I could have. As I like the animation cancel to her ability. I can't help it. But yeah. Okay, base game victim endurance. We have fixed an issue where the victim endurance was not scaling correctly with the amount of attribute points put into it. The attribute. When adding attribute points into victim endurance, it will now impact the intended total stamina capacity along with stamina drain while dashing or sprinting and stamina generation. It's funny because I was looking at this stuff on their Twitter and like they weren't fixing this update, so I'm glad they did. As I can say from the time I've been playing Victim, which was a lot more after I put my last review out for the update, Victim State felt so terrible, especially with how risky it is grappling now. It's like seriously, it felt like there was nothing you can do against the family. So I'm super glad they're finally fixing victim endurance. It's gotta suck up spamming a little bit. Now you're gonna get back to the whole 50 endurance. Good luck catching me victims spamming gaps, but let's see if Bones has something to say about that. So next we have base game victims permanently highlighted. Oh, okay. Our team has resolved an issue where victims would become permanently highlighted to fan members after being detected by Grandpa's sonar. There was more than that. There's certain aura reveal perks that also did it, so we'll see if they fix that as well. As I haven't really seen too many of the Grandpa permanently highlighting things. This only seemed to be with Leland. I feel like I might have gotten one more victim since then, but I'm not sure. All right, they finally fixed the cameras for the execution pack 4. I'm pretty sure that's those black bars on the side of the screen. I personally never really noticed them like that, but I noticed some people didn't like it. Okay, base game security pins. We have fixed an issue where security pins was stacking the difficulty lockpick mini game. I didn't realize that was going on. I wonder how that happened. Uh-oh, wireframe. Oh yeah, I heard people say wireframe wasn't working. I haven't used wireframe in a minute as no one's using it on Hitchhiker anymore because you can't do it with Scout. I'm not sure. I want to say one of my victims. Yeah, well, I guess yeah, victims being OP videos. I showed me with Hitchhiker using wireframe on Nancy's house. I just literally couldn't catch anyone with it. Like you need Scout wireframe for it to be good. It by itself isn't it. It just isn't it. I wonder if Bones is gonna get wireframe by the way. It probably will. But, all right. So now when it activated players should it says it functions intended when it's and activates when a player traverses through a gap across space. I wonder if they fix the issue where you sometimes get stuck going through gaps and stuff. But moving on, we have no cell. There was an issue that has been resolved where the perk no cell would not lose charges and become active for the duration of the map. Oh, X. Uh-oh, I already see what this one is. Sissy's Linger. The team has fixed the issue with perk Linger at level 3 where the blown cloud particle effects didn't scale appropriately. Okay, no, let's just make it so now it's going to actually be as big as it should be, I think is what it is. I thought it was going to be something else they fixed with our linger. We'll see. The night is still young. Polarize, we fixed the issue where the generators of car batteries that were poisoned by Sissy were not highlighted for victims. Polarize. I mean, Elasticity comes around to one of those areas while they're trying to fiddle around with it. It does literally nothing. I'm crossing my fingers here, but I doubt it. They need to make it so when they interact with poison stuff, they get highlighted, whether it's the carbogens, health, whatever. Anything she poison needs to highlight them or it's useless. Literally all that stuff does is gets you some extra hits from them being poisoned if you're nearby them. Otherwise, it does nothing. Next up, we have Hans' barge attack. We have resolved an issue where Hans players would become non-functional after forming a barge with his depleted stamina. I have a clip for this. I had this happen a while ago and it was annoying. I was like playing around or so, I don't know what I did. But yeah, that happened. It happened to me again where I think I had someone not only DC, but I had the sweatiest victims ever. And I literally just had to sit here and watch them do all this dumb stuff in front of me because I couldn't attack. It eventually fixed itself, I think, and I was able to attack, but I literally was swing like once. I think I'd stam, but yeah, it was just nonsense. I only had to happen literally one time, but it was not fun when it did happen. No, that is not it for hands. They are also nerfing the level 2 cooldown reduction for his Ripstall ability from 40% to 30%. So this would probably make his Ripstall cooldown maybe 80 seconds. That's still a lot though, but I mean, whatever they can do to stop this man from running around the map and just stopping anyone from doing anything would be huge. I mean, we already have a new family member here, so I think this is the time where they stop trying to milk the new family member and focus on milking. Okay, I'm sorry, the old family member, the old new family member, the new. You get what I'm going with this, darn it. If you guys want to make Bones busted OP to get everyone to buy, I'm sure, but bank on him, not Hands. All right, Hands has been out for what 6, 7 months now. Like I think anyone who's bought Hands would have bought him by now. Like, come on now. Start actually making this guy balanced and fair to play against instead of just the bullshit guy that just stops anything from happening. That's how passionate about hands. There we go again. This is like 2 for 2 now. These TCM videos. I'm actually starting to slip up and swear because I'm getting triggered by this stuff. But moving on to the next thing, because I can literally go all day about how stupid hands is to play. And what's worse is he's not even that fun to play too. So it's like he's literally someone you play just because you really want to win that bad that you're willing to make sure no one has fun just to win. Shared lockpick minigame progress. Okay, we have resolved an issue where the lockpick minigame progress was not accurate when the progression was shared across 2 more players. Interesting. One thing I think about that is when you're spectating, it looks a little laggy. Victim well teleportation. We fixed an issue where the victim players would teleport when being incapacitated after performing a jump down well animation. This seemed kind of rare, but yeah, there were some issues I'd see here and there where it feels like victims weren't welling properly and stuff like this. I haven't really seen huge issues with this since around the anniversary when it first popped up, but it still is good that they're fixing that. Native invite errors. This is the issue where a player could not join a lobby after accepting a native invite without the game open or the initial start screen has been fixed. Players who accepted a native invite will get stuck in an infinite loading screen will no longer have this issue. They mentioned something about this last update, but I usually play with like PC players and stuff like that, so we have to do the in-game one, not the one between let's say PlayStation players or whatever, like they're trying to say here. Native invite on start screen. This is an issue where if players accepted a native invite while on the start screen, they would not be taken to the lobby until they hit the play button. Nah, players will automatically transfer to the correct lobby. Okay. Base game view prompt on DSC. We fixed the issue where the view prompt on DSC would not open the tutorial in full screen. Okay, I don't know what that's talking about. What did it do with Leatherface UI? The prompts for Leatherface, the rev chainsaw start were not displaying correctly. These prompts are not correct when Leatherface starts his chainsaw. Okay, I didn't notice them. We have fixed an issue where players would see required bone scrap prompt when they set a when a set of bone scraps has already been cut down. I noticed that. It's not game breaking, but definitely was kind of annoying. Glad they fixed that. Wound mark fixed an issue where wound marks were not appearing correctly on characters with the summertime outfit pack. Oh, it's not a big deal, but okay. Another one that's not a big deal. The subtitles for Sissy's dialogue were too small. Okay, big whoop. Base game burst out interaction prompt. An issue has been fixed where victims would not always see the prompt to burst out when in hiding spots. Okay. We have updated and added correct language localizations for A bunch of cosmetics. I'm not gonna go crazy on that. Base game family house textures. Okay. Fix textures of family house. Not going crazy with that. Fix the issue where Danny would trigger water puddles at incorrect ranges. I noticed that. Yeah, I was like nowhere near the puddle when I was first playing around with the gas station storm map, and I'm like getting detected by it. And then I noticed with the females, it wasn't doing a noise prompt like it was for Daddy. So I'm not sure if that's a bug for him or what. Cause I'm pretty sure it does with family members. So whatever. Okay. Victims could become partially stuck after interacting with a crawl space in the west cell area in the gas station. Okay. A lot more stuck spots than that. Usually, you have to do when you interact with multiple things at once because this game's interaction prompts are way too big. Character model disappearing. The team has fixed an issue where a player's character model would disappear when they adjust their model. Interesting. Never seen that, I don't think. Fix the issue where the favored players could become temporarily stuck upon crossing the. Oh, this has been in the game forever. How are they just now fixing the whole? Yeah, when you try to hit someone trying to escape from the valve exit, you get stuck in the exit area. Eventually, you kind of get unstuck, but yeah, it's kind of bad. That's been in the game for so long. All right, something about Maria. Grandpa's sonar. When Sweet talked about Maria, we have fixed some inconsistencies where family players, would still be highlighted by Grandpa's sonar from being Sweet taught by Maria. For newer players, this is how Grandpa's level works. Level 1 to 3 sonar hides players moving around, not in bushes and shadows. Sonar highlights players moving regardless of hiding stats, and then there's no place to hide. All right, I don't know why they had to make new players look stupid there for a second, but abandoned mill lobby UI with updated text, abandoned mill dust lobby UI to reflect the correct text. Thank you. That kind of killed me that they didn't do what uh, setting is supposed to be. All right, what's this? The family were soft lock watch reverse. We have fixed the bug where Hitchhiker Sissy fell over and became soft lock when they traversed through a gap or crawl space. Yeah, this is something I had to. Usually it fixed where you just crawl right back out. This especially was the case with wireframe, as that makes you go through it so fast, the game just kind of freaks out, sticks you through a wall. But hopefully this will never become an issue. I also had a hitchhiker got stuck in a doorway somehow, so I don't know how that happened. Hopefully that somehow was fixed with all these things too. Not hold my breath on that. And can we resolve some issues where Johnny would crash when he pulled us a really good at the car while calling the police? Oh, glad that's fixed. Fix an issue where players will become would experience a title crash if they simultaneously attempted to leave the car while also attempting to call the cops. Okay, glad they fixed that. Fixed an issue that caused players to experience prolonged wait times for a lobby to refill if a player left the lobby. Has been resolved. Oh, okay. As long as they claim that it was a bug and not just people not playing Rush Week anymore. All right. Fix an issue where the environment would not be rendering for Johnny. Interesting. Oh, that specifically is when he entered the house too quickly. They fixed textures, the devil girl outfit. They fixed issue where the prompt to call police would appear for a few seconds after that's already girl re-entered the car. Okay. They fixed blood splatters or these pajama outfits for the girls. Something about spectators were incorrectly seeing Johnny's aura for the duration of the match. I guess that could be pretty big. Yeah, you'd be able to tell from where Johnny is. Yeah, that's actually kind of huge. They also fixed the issue with Johnny's aura was available during minigames. Wow. Fixed text that's read Nets match in, which would appear in black instead of white. Another issue we fixed was Johnny's shirtless outfit briefly appearing in the opening customization tab. Yeah, let Johnny be shirtless in there. Come on. But not reading that. Some miscellaneous stuff. Fix an issue with Rush Week match without their selected players to be able to load to a match without their cosmetics selected. Yeah, that happened to me a lot too. Yeah, I loaded with the wrong cosmetic. Okay, there was a solved issue in private matches where the voice lines would not trigger for family and victims. Hmm. I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that the family doesn't talk with each other as often as they used to. I hope they fix that. Then again, it's talking about private matches, so I won't hold my breath on that. Same here to fix issues where there are no voice lines when a victim approaches the gallows. That doesn't happen in the main games. I thought so. Because I've looked at the voice lines from the files that people upload and stuff like that, and there's stuff that said horrific sight, and I'm like, I never heard any of those. You hear this stuff for the bodies, but like, yeah, so I'm guessing the victims are supposed to react to seeing their friends and whatnot on the gallows, but they don't. So I hope they fix that in the game period, not just the private matches. But our last thing we have here is private matches, victim status portraits. Issue has been fixed where host players were unable to see victim status portraits when other victims died or escaped. Okay, that's not too major. So that's going to be it here. Hopefully, I didn't bore you guys to tears with some of this non-important stuff here. Again, that's usually why I read this before. I kind of forgot why I did this, but clocking in around 25 minutes isn't half bad. So, again, for you guys who did not know, this is releasing Thursday. That is tomorrow morning. I probably not going to be able to play this until tomorrow afternoon, unfortunately. Although, if I did end up getting to play it a little sooner, I'm not going to complain. So, ugh, it's just like so much stuff coming out this week. It's going to be a lot for me to play and whatnot. But I'll definitely try to get back on TCM, especially with there being new characters and these nice Nancy buffs here, and a few other things now that I have to test out. So, all right. Maybe I'm not done with TCM just yet. I see you, Gun. You're actually trying. Let's see if you're able to actually retain some players after this update, as I'm sure a decent bit are going to come back. So the ball is in your court, Gun. Waiting to see what you do with this game. You got until February to get it together before you might as well just sunlight it. But me being a little bit of a you know what aside, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, get a life.